Hi, I'm John Gerke. I'm here at Bona Fide Brewing Company headquarters, and today we're going to show you how to change a key keg from a dry beverage cooler pouring nitro coffee. The key keg, for those of you who haven't seen this product, is a really cool kegging system that uses a bag inside of a keg to dispense the product. The unique feature of this keg system is that you can use a gas such as plain air from an air compressor to push the product out. It does this by squeezing gas in between the bladder and the outer shell of the keg, and it compresses that bladder and effectively dispenses the product out into the machine. To change it is much similar to changing any other keg, and I'm going to show you how that's done. To begin with, you'll see that we have a 10-liter keg here that's empty, and when they're empty, you can tell they're empty because, one, they're light, and two, you can see that the bladder has been squeezed by the gas and it's all compressed and contracted. It's very simple though. We're going to shut off the air compressor on the back of the machine, and then we're going to grasp the keg coupler. It's very similar to a Sankey connector on a regular Sankey D beer keg. You're going to grasp it, squeeze it, lift up, and you're going to hear that release. Once you hear that pressure release, you're just going to turn the coupler and remove it. Now, it's pretty common in the case of a keg change to have a little bit of product dripping. I like to keep some paper towels on hand and just dab that up. You also have to remember that this is a food surface, so we don't want to touch it with our bare hands. And you can always use a little sanitizer spray to spray that fitting before you put it back on. The new keg, we just remove the keg cap. It comes from the keg when it's full. Pull that off, set it aside. Now you're going to notice that the adapter has a triangle shape. We're going to match those, the fitting on the keg to the keg coupler, and we're just going to kind of put it into place, nice and level, and turn it. It's going to turn very simply, but once you get it there, it's locked and you can't pull it back off. Then you know the keg's in place. Then we're going to just simply push down on the adapter, and it's locked in place. Now reach to the back and turn the compressor back on. You can hear the compressor run for a few minutes, and it's going to compress air and push it into that keg, actually to the outside of the bladder. And once that compressor shuts off, it's going to be up to full pressure. In this case, it's 50 psi because it's nitro coffee, and it's going to be ready to pour. So we're going to give that just a quick second, and then I'm going to pour our first glass. Compressor turned off, we're up to pressure, and then we're going to pour some coffee. Now, it's pretty typical after you've poured your first keg, you get a few air bubbles out of there, but you can see that's a beautiful glass of coffee. I think the interesting thing about this equipment is that, again, we're using air to push the bladder in the keg, and all the coffee that's inside that bladder is pre-nitrogenated, so you don't need a bottle of nitrogen gas. Very simple system. You can start pouring 5 minutes within plugging the machine in. Cheers.